Hey Glendale Korean Church family. I grew up in a really large family, and as a result, one of the things that we weren't able to do too often was go on vacations out of state. If anything, we would go on road trips throughout the state of Alaska, but other than that, there wasn't too many. Now, typically, there are two kinds of travelers. Travelers who are well prepared and travelers who are not so prepared. Now, my family leaned more towards the being well prepared family of travelers. But for me personally, if you ask my wife now, I'm literally packing last minute, like the morning of or the night before. One of the things my father would make my family do before we went on any trip, in-state or out-of-state, was we would start packing the car or our bags like way before we actually had to leave. I remember on some occasions, we would pack nearly like a week in advance. And if we were gonna leave at 5 in the morning, every day of the week, we would wake up at 5 a.m., we would pack up, load everything up into the car, and then once we finished that, we would unpack and go back to bed. Now, at the time of my life, I really didn't understand why my father would make us go to that extent. But as I've gotten older, and in light of my very opposite travel style, I've come to the realization that the significance and the importance of preparation is really necessary. I've often gone on trips and have forgotten a lot of important things, which have resulted in a lot of different inconveniences. Preparation helps you to be ready for what is to come. It allows you to be ready in anticipation of what will happen. In the case of my travels, it's not a matter of whether or not the travel or vacation will happen. It's a matter of how well can I be prepared for that trip. In Luke chapter 3, we find a similar situation where preparation is involved. That's today's key word in chapter 3, prepare. At this point in the gospel, John, also known as John the Baptist, is found here in the wilderness out of all places, and he's going around all the regions of the Jordan. He's proclaiming a baptism of repentance for the forgiveness of sins. Now imagine this with me. If we were hanging out doing our thing, and all of a sudden this guy, disheveled looking guy, comes out of nowhere and tells us to get baptized. And we hear him quoting the book of Isaiah saying, "The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord, make his path straight. Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall become straight, and the rough places shall become level ways, and all flesh shall see the salvation of God." It's really a bone-chilling scene, honestly, because what John the Baptist is doing is he's trying to get people prepared. It's not a matter of if Jesus will come. It's a matter of will you be prepared when he does come. Spiritual preparation is necessary for us today, especially because we know that Jesus will come. Let's prepare by spending time with him in prayer, in fellowship with one another, in repentance and in baptism. Let's be prepared now and not later.